Okay, this is a personal reflection video of Dr. Remy's soft computing and robotics class. I'm going to talk about the technologies we've implemented, how others have used them, how they work, how did ours perform, and how can they be applied to solve another problem. Um, First thing we did, we talked about case-based reasoning, and we implemented a tic-tac-toe engine. What it does was it gets a board state and responds with a board move. We had two web services. One just replied with a random one. One would reply. One was an expert and would reply with a smart move. It would analyze the board and play to win the game. Um, and the idea, the topic we talked about in class was case based reasoning. Case based reasoning is, take for example, the judicial system where you have a court case come in and I think it's called precedents. They would look at past cases, see what that outcome is, and just apply that outcome to the current case. Um, Other people have used case based reasoning in the music industry. Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio. They all use it for, say, discovery. They're trying to get a user to discover music. They say, take a case like the user listened to a set of songs. They say, oh, based off of these songs, you might like these. Um, and they also do it with, they try to give you um, songs at certain times of the day. They'll say, oh, last time at bedtime you listened to this. So we think at bedtime tonight you might like these songs. They take these past cases, these past songs you've listened to, analyze them, and uh, they'll give you a playlist. Um, the other thing we talked about were neural networks, and we implemented a neural network, and we applied it to our tic tac toe game. And neural networks work by what it is the whole basis is biology and the way your brain works with the neurons. Um, what we did was you have input values and output values. The input values were the board state. Basically, in really dumb terms, we'd say, we would train our neural network, or it's also called machine learning. We would say here's a scenario, here's a scenario, here's a scenario, here's another scenario, or a bunch of board states, and we would say we want you to respond this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way, and we give the neural network all those inputs and all those outputs, and it would learn, or it's also called training. We would train our neural network, and and then after we trained it, we would test it and see how it worked. Now the way that works, the neural network is it has these inside nodes or units, and they're connected by weights, and certain weights influence. The higher the weight, the higher the influence it has on the other unit, and if you sum them up, and then you sum them up, get the value, and then you have to meet a certain threshold or a certain amount of error, and that would determine how correct it would determine the output. Um, so that's how that works. Our project, how our technologies performed, oh um, our first project were great. The expert move applied in the expert web service engine would get a board state, and it would respond pretty accurately and win the game. Um, our neural network project, however, it took a long time to train or get it to learn the inputs and outputs, and then even whenever we went to test it, it wasn't working correctly. Some other groups did get it working though, and their performance seemed to be well, and their web service would respond with a good and valid move. Um, Other people have used neural networks. They're used commonly in robotics, facial recognition, and fingerprint. Say facial recognition, for example. It would, we talked about, or I mentioned machine learning, or say, facial learning. It'll say, my face looks like this. A lot of different goofy faces, I guess. And and then anytime the neural network would see my face, it would recognize it, and it would do a certain output. You could apply it to different things, and same with the fingerprint. Um, one, uh, I think we could apply this. Answering the question about applying it to a problem I care about. I guess I care about education. I think it's important, and I think this technology could be applied to education. Doing some other reading, one thing I realized was that neural networks are used a lot for prediction, and with prediction, you could, I guess there's analysis along with that, but you could take inputs such as test scores or student performance, and have a output say like I want the performance to be like this and blah blah blah, and or the inputs could be like a teaching method, and the outputs would be how the students performed, and I guess you you could use it to analyze the effectiveness of teaching methods, I guess, or even um, test scores and test performances. And yeah, this concludes my video.